All right, everybody, we're going to talk today about what Washington can teach us about money, right? We've got a great example of what not to do with our money. So let's talk about some of the things that they teach you, and 4 of those things in particular. First of all, budget statistics. In 2017, the government took in $3.3 trillion and they spent $4 trillion. So they took in 3.3, they spent 4, which is more. What happened there, right? As a personal, as a consumer, as an individual, as a personal finance person, right? With your own money, you know that doesn't work for very long, right? So we're learning something already. They got 20 trillion in debt, maybe 21 trillion by the time I finish this video. So think about that. Anybody that does a budget, that sits down, anybody running a business that goes, we took in 3.3 trillion, we have debt that is 6 times the amount that we take in, something's wrong there, right? So the government themselves really is a bad example for how to manage your money. I don't think I need to convince any one of you on that subject, but here's 4 things that they can teach us about this. Number 1, they can teach us procrastinating hurts. Eventually, procrastinating, see, normally you guys get to see me edit these things out. Procrastinating hurts. If you wait too long, you can't make up the difference. Now, I don't mean debt, right? I could be talking about investing. So if you wait too long to invest your money, then you just can't make up the difference. It's almost impossible. You won't make enough to get enough in return. If you wait too long to pay off debt and that debt is growing, then it gets to a point where you just can't do anything about it, right? Leave me a comment below if you think the government can actually ever pay off the 20 trillion in debt. Does anybody really think that somehow they're just going to start putting money towards that debt and it's going to be okay? So they teach us that procrastinating does nothing for you. When your parents used to yell at you for not cleaning your room and everything, well, I don't know. Maybe that wasn't a big deal. But when it comes to investing, when it comes to paying off debt, do not wait, okay? If you have too much debt, don't even call me. Don't work with us here at Jazz. Don't go anywhere and invest your money. Start paying down that debt. Maybe we can help you get on track to pay down that debt. But when it comes time to investing, you got to be in the right position. Don't wait too long to do it. Get on it. Don't procrastinate. Number 2, spending more than you make is a losing proposition. You know that, right? Like, I don't need to tell you that, but we see the government do that all the time. They spend more than they make across the board, right? We have businesses out there that spend more than they make. And you know what? I'm going to go to it here while I'm here. I'm going to look this up for you because there are public companies that actually spend more than they make and they lose money at the end of the year, but yet you might be investing in those companies. None of my customers are investing in those companies. Let's see if I can think of one real quick. Companies that spend more than they make. Pandora. I'll bet you Pandora is one of them. And it is. They have sales of $1.5 billion. So they bring in $1.5 billion. The register rings to the tune of $1.5 billion, but they lose $567 million a year. So their net profit margin is negative 38.5%. More money's going out than is coming in. What do I always tell you guys? Make sure the dollars coming in are greater than the dollars going out, and whatever you have left over, save and invest. It's that simple. So Pandora is one of them. Hey, what about Blue Apron? You guys know Blue Apron is a public company. Oh, brother. So Blue Apron makes they have sales of $833 million. They lose $200 million. So they bring in $833 million, yet they end up losing $200. So they put out another $200 million more. What's going on there, right? Oh, and what about Snapchat? Let me see if I can find Snapchat real quick. Oh, Snapchat's the best out of all of them. They have sales of $906 million a year. Young company still, but $906 million. They lose $1.225 billion. What? They lose $1.2 billion. They bring in $906 million. That's so bad that my profit margin screen over here won't even update. So they've got $906 million coming in. They spend all of that plus double, right? So oh my gosh, that's incredible. I didn't even know that. Not double. They you know what I mean. They spend exactly what they take in. Whoa. Okay, so number 2. The thing that Washington teaches us, and those 3 companies actually that I just looked up, spending more than you make is always a losing proposition. You're always racking up debt. When you rack up that kind of debt, that's a hard one to get out of. It doesn't mean you're going to lose in the long run. It means you're going to lose money, period. Okay, so take a look at that. Number 3, the third thing that Washington teaches us about your money is creative financing. You hear that term so much in Washington. Creative financing is simply procrastination. And what do we know from procrastination? In rule number 1, it hurts, right? It doesn't work in the long run. So creative financing, when you hear them say that, or when you hear analysts talk about that, it's just procrastination, right? It's usually not to get better deals. On Wall Street, creative financing makes people rich, okay? In Washington, creative financing is delaying the inevitable. It's putting off something for the future, not good. And the fourth thing Washington teaches us about your money is how to stick to a budget. Do you know the government actually has a very well laid out budget, but they intentionally plan to spend more than they make? So it's not a matter of having their numbers down on paper. They got the numbers down on paper. It's just at the end of the day, people reach in and take whatever they want out of the fund, or they'll take some more money from somewhere else. So you've got to work on a budget. And look, it doesn't have to be complicated, okay? I know I make a big deal out of budgets because I want you to get your dough straight so you can invest. I do not want you to invest with me or with any other company if you don't have your dough straight, because, you know, it just makes a lot of work for everybody. It means you open up an account with me, we get you started, you're all excited, you see the investments, and then you get a flat tire and you're like, Dustin, I need to liquidate my account, man. I need to pay for this flat tire. That's pointless. You're wasting everybody's time. If I can help you get your dough straight with all the little details and get you going along the way, you'll let the money grow. We'll be able to work with you. We'll be able to really, really provide value for you, which is, of course, what we hope to do here at Jazz Wealth. I hope you'll keep us in mind. If I taught you something in this video or maybe other videos, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button at the very least. If you're looking to transfer, start a new one, or roll over an account that you already have, I hope you'll keep us in mind here at jazzwealth.com. We basically will do anything to help you out when it comes to your investments, your personal finances, budgeting, things like that. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.